tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Alright, let's go ahead and get started today. Today we are doing Pythagorean Theorem, Chapter 5, Lesson 5. Students will be able to use the Pythagorean Theorem. So make sure to write down absolutely everything that is typed or written in these videos and pause the video at any time that you need to slow things down. Now you do not have to write what is in the pink box, but you have to write what is in red. This is on page 412 in your book. Yep, 412 in your book. So make sure that you write this part down here. Up here it says, in a right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs is equal to the square of the length of the hypotenuse. So, in other words, what you really need to know, C is the hypotenuse and the longest side. A and B are the L of the right angle. Here, wasn't a great L, was it? So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. As long as you know this formula, you are good to go. Pause this video if you need to write all of this down. Okay, so just watch. Here we go. Not just watch. You're actually going to have to do this. You could just watch me first, and then you can write it down in your paper. Anyways, okay. I borrowed some of these slides from Miss McLean a few years ago. Okay, so we are taking the L-shaped, okay, that is our A squared and our B squared, and we are trying to find our C. Okay, so we have 27, and we need to square that. That is one of our legs here. They're called legs. Okay, and then our other one is 36. So we're going to do 36 squared. And this is going to equal C squared. So you will need a calculator for this problem. So we can do 27 squared in our calculator, which is 27 times 27. And you should get 729. So this is 729. By the way, you have to show this work on every single problem. That's the hardest part about these, is showing your work. Okay, and 1296, that'll be 36 squared. And then we are going to add those two together. And we get 2025 equals C squared. Now, 2025 is not C. That is not what C is equal to. 2025 is not it. 2025 is equal to C times C. So what we need to do is we need to find C. How we do that is we find the square root of 2025. So we take 2025, you can do this in your calculator, and get the square root of it. So if you've got an iPhone, you're turning it on its side. Okay, you've got the 2025. You're going to find the square root button. It is this one. Can you see it? Nope, probably not. Okay. So you're going to hit the square root button, and you should get 45. Okay, so C is equal to 45. So it's not just 45, you need to make sure that you're putting it back into the units that you have. So it's going to be 45 feet. That is C. Okay, that's all you do. It looks like a lot of work, but a lot of it is just writing it down. Okay, so it says write an equation. That's what we're going to do first. The A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You could use to find the length of the missing side of each right triangle, then find the missing length. Round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, and this did come from your book, page 417. Okay, so A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Remember, C squared is your longest side. It's also your slanted side. Okay, your A and your B make up your L shaped. So we have one of our legs here that make up the L shape, and the other one we are missing. It does not matter which one. We'll keep it A since it says A here, so we'll keep A squared missing. And then we have 10 squared here equals C squared, which is 15. So 15 squared. So now we are going to do 10 squared, which is 10 times 10. That should be easy, right? 10 times 10 is 100. Okay, and then 15 times 15. If you're not aware of what 15 times 15 is, just put in your calculator. 225. Oop, how about 225, not 25? Okay, 225. Okay, and to solve this problem, remember we have to get a squared by itself. So we want to get rid of the 100. So to get rid of 100, you're going to subtract it from both sides, just like you would to solve any other equation. We bring down our a squared, and we are left with 125. 225 minus 100 is 125. Okay, now we are not done. Okay, we want to find what a is, not what a squared is. So in order to do that, you have to find the square root of 125. So again, you find your square root button. You also might be on a different spot if you're using a different calculator. It is going to be a big, long number. Okay, but it did say round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So if it's given me this big, long, gigantic number, we are looking, I'll just write a few of the numbers here. 1803, and it goes on. Okay, we want to round to the tenths place, so we're going to look back at that 8. That 8 is enough to bump that 1 up, so your answer is going to be A equals 11.2, and we are talking centimeters. So it's going to be 11.2 centimeters. That's your answer. Okie dokie, moving on. Okay, for these problems, it says determine whether each triangle is a right triangle. Justify your answer. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper. What that means, not on a separate sheet of paper, you're going to show it on this notebook that you're using right now. But what it's saying is that you're going to justify it by showing your work. So you have to do still the same formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And you're just putting in these numbers. It's giving you the 3 numbers. So you're just putting it in there, and you're going to check and see if a squared plus b squared actually does equal c squared. Remember, your longest side is your c. Your longest side is your hypotenuse, which is your c. That's the slanted side of your triangle here. Okay? Okay, so this is the side is the c. Okay, and we've got A and B over here as well. All right, but the longest side is the C. So you want to take your biggest number, and that's going to be your C squared. It doesn't matter which order the other 2 numbers go in, as long as you have your longest side being your C squared. Okay, so we've got 24 squared here, plus 143 squared here. Okay, and we want to put these into our calculator to double check if this is correct. So first I'm going to do 24 squared, which is 24 times 24, or 576, and 143 squared, which is 20,449. And then we need to do 145 squared. 145 times 145, we get 21,025. Okay, and then we need to check to see if this is correct. So we need to add 20,449 to 576, and we do get 21,025. So when we add this together, we do get our answer. So it says determine whether each triangle is a right triangle. This has to be a right triangle because it does check out. The Pythagorean Theorem worked on this problem. If it did not equal down here, then it would not be a right triangle. So the answer to this one is yes, it is a right triangle. Okay, that's all we have to do for that problem. One more and we are done. We're going to practice this again, okay? Again, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You have to write that for every single problem. The more you write something, the more you are likely to remember it. So that's why we get you to write repetitively, write the same things over and over again. You guys hate it, and you guys are not fans, I know. But it will help you in the end, I promise. So we are going to make sure that the longest side is our C, okay? So the biggest number here is our C, that would be 65. So 65 is going to be our c squared, and then the other two numbers can go wherever. Oh, that's 16 squared, how about? And 56 squared. Okay, so now we just enter into our calculator. 16 times 16, that gives us 256. So we have 256 plus 56 squared, which is 56 times 56. That's 3,136. And then 65 squared is 65 times 65 times 65, and that's 4,225. Okay, we need to add up 3,136 plus 256, and we get 3,392. And we see that this did not work out here. So I'm going to draw a line through the equal sign because it is not equal. That means it is no, it is not a right triangle. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow.